Welcome, fellow bookworms, to Tibra's Den. My name is Whitney, and it is Bookmas. I am very excited. I've done this every year for the past several years, and I love it. It's kind of changed and evolved. At first, I just picked a TBR and wrapped the books. They weren't necessarily Christmas, and then I focused more on Christmas last year. And this year, they're all Christmas books. And so we do it from day 1 all the way to day 24. This is Adeline if you're new here. And I also have a Anya behind me, and the others are milling about. But yeah, we unwrap a book a day. Now, in the past, I know there are several creators who do a Bookmas, and I've noticed with them, they tend to, this is boo-boo, they tend to do like a video every day, and I've never done that. I've always just unwrapped the book and I'm reading the book within that day. Sometimes they spill over into the next and I'm having to play catch up. But this year I am going to be uploading a video every day. So I'm going to film these in the morning, get them edited and uploaded. I'm not going to do any other videos other than my wrap-up. So my wrap-up's just going to kind of be, excuse you, my wrap-up's just going to kind of be a bonus video this month. And so, yeah, I'm very excited. There are other books that we will be reading besides my 24 Days of Bookmas books. So I was going to wait until January to read this one. My husband and I read, let's see, this is book 5. So we read book 3 and 4 in November, like back to back. And then we finished book 4, and I was like, we'll wait till January because December's going to be busy. And we decided not to wait. So we've already started this. And that's book 5 in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series by Matt Dinniman. This is The Butcher's Masquerade. And we got to page, let's see here, 88. So we're 88 pages in of 707. And we love Dungeon Crawler Carl. We read it right before bed together. And so, yeah, we didn't want to wait till January. And so we are reading this one. So this will continue to read a couple chapters each night at bed. So that's going to be an ongoing book throughout the month as well. And I did started, this is the last priority book of mine, of my standalones. I didn't get to some of my series, which is fine, but this is my last standalone priority, and so I barely started this one as well because let's see here, so today's Monday, so Saturday night I was just super tired. I hadn't slept the night before, and so I only read 17 pages, and then last night kind of the same thing. I ended up reading 17 pages, which was a couple chapters, and was just super tired. So this I've read 34 pages in, but this is my last priority read for this year. This was gifted to me by Michelle at Reading on My Breaks. And so, you know, she gifted it to me, and it's just been sitting there, and so I really wanted to make it a priority to read. And this is the last month to read it. So I'm going to also be reading this again, probably just slowly at bedtime, because by the time I'm in bed, I'm super sleepy. But you know, focusing on Christmas books this month, but I am going to be working on this in the background as well. So there's those two that we're already reading. Now, my husband and I will be alternating days on these, but these are Advent reads. And so first we have Mystery for Christmas, 12 Tales of Seasonal Suspense. This is edited by Cynthia Manson. We are going to be reading these on odd days. So we'll be reading this tonight. And yeah, we did I had a collection of like a Christmas treasury, and we read stories from that last year each night, which I really enjoyed. So I wanted to do that again this year. And I come across this one, and I thought it was something a little bit different. And we're also going to be reading Christmas Eve Love Story by Ginny Baird. This is an Advent style book. I think she originally released it as a normal Christmas romance, and then they turned it into an Advent style book. So each day you open one of these little things and read it. So we'll be reading these on even days since there's 12 days of this as well. So we'll be alternating those. And then I'm going to be reading A Heart for Christmas by Sophie Jomain. This is another Advent style where you just open. But this is 24 days. And my husband's not really interested in this one. And so I'm going to be reading this each morning, and then each evening we'll be reading 3 books. Well, me and him will be reading 2, and I'll be reading the 3rd book. So I got a lot of reading to do this month, is my point. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing this morning. But let's go ahead and see what our first book is for the day. It feels like a paperback. Now there's a whole mix. I have some mystery, I have some holiday romance, I have Christian fiction. So there's a whole mix in there. There are a couple authors, like I have Richard Paul Evans. I came across several of his books, and so I have several of his. And then what's the other one? I can't think of her name right now, but it's a mystery author, Mary Higgins Clark, I want to say. And so there's several of hers. And so I had my husband, I put those as I wrapped them because he numbered all these. So as I wrapped them, I put those, and I was like, this is an author and this is an author. They're all the same. So when you're numbering them, just disperse those between the other books. And then I also put the contemporary romance, so we don't get contemporary romance back to back as either. So but let's go ahead and see if I can open this. Goodness, I taped it too good. But I'm very excited. I love doing this every year. Even though it's a lot of reading, it's very motivating, and I tend to do really well at it. So let's go ahead and do this. And then let's go ahead and see what come out. Okay, ready? Is it going to come out this time? Not quite. Okay. Yes, this is a great start to the month. This is probably the one I was most excited about. So this is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison, who is the author of the Love Light Farm series. I still have one Love Light Farm book to go, which I will be reading in January now because I didn't get to it. And yeah, when I saw she was this book, I was like, yes. And I pre-ordered it, which I'm not a big pre-orderer. But I went ahead and pre-ordered this one. So this is going to be a great start. Excuse the dog knocking into the tripod. So this one says, fall in love with the ghost of Christmas past in this magical romance from the New York Times bestselling author of Love Light Farms and First Time Caller. He is the ghost of Christmas past. She's not exactly Scrooge. Ghost of Christmas past Nolan Callahan intends to spend this holiday haunting like every other. Get in, get out, return to his otherwise aimless existence as a ghost awaiting the afterlife. But when he's faced with Harriet York, the sweetest assignment he's ever had, he suddenly finds himself wishing for a future. Harriet York has no idea why she's being haunted. She's a good person, or at least she tries to be. A people pleaser to her core, she always does what's expected of her. But as she and Nolan began to examine her past, they discover there are threads that bind them together and realize there might be more to moving on than expected. With the deadline of Christmas Eve fast approaching, will they find the key to their futures in each other's past? Or will they stay firmly in the present, indulging in their unexpected spirited connection? So I am so excited. I watched a video. I watched a video where she did an interview with another author, and like they were reading lines from their books, and then like they had to fill in the blanks of each other's books, and it was really fun and funny. And they did this book; it was the lines from this book that the other author had to fill in, and it made me even more interested. And I know a lot of people are reading this year, and so I'm very excited to be one of them as well. I think I really like this author's writing style. Even like the Love Light Farms books I have read, their book 2 didn't really hit quite as well for me, but there was just something that just I love the writing style and the way the author pulls you in and such, even though I didn't like that story in particular. And so I'm very, very excited to get into this. So I do have a busy day. I need to do some chores. I need to finish wrapping presents. And I need to work on my reading journal. So I'm probably not going to get to this until this evening. So what my plan is I'm going to read this morning and then work on what I need to work on, and then I will start this and switch over when my husband gets home to do our Advent read, and then before bedtime we'll read the other ones. But yeah, I'm very, very excited about this. So that's what I'm going to be reading today. I will be back on tomorrow to update you on my thoughts, my progress, and open the next book. And so, yeah, Merry Bookmas. If you don't watch every day, that's okay. Like I said, I've never done an everyday video, and these videos are probably going to be a little bit shorter. Like this one's already kind of long. You'll see in the clips in the beginning, the cats and the dogs are getting their advent calendar treats, which they love. I've done this. The cats I only did for the first time last year, but the dogs I've done the last several years, and they love it too. So yeah, you'll get to see those clips, and I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.